He's a psychopath. Just like the rest of them. You don't gotta give him anything, and we're not best friends just because we had a little talk about doing a little talking. It's not an open invitation to go smashing the fourth wall every 5 seconds. Okay, now that that guy is gone and we've got some ground rules established that we're definitely going to abide by, it's time to lay back, take some deep, slow breaths, and nope, another shadow. These people will not leave you alone. Let's see who it is this time. Oh, it's Spirit. That checks out. You two have gotten pretty cozy. We should get out of here. I know a place that brings a bit of welcome darkness to this tropical nightmare. Best of all, I'm the only one that seems to know about it, so we won't be bothered there. I don't even know why I'm telling you, really. It's my private spot. But I guess I've got a feeling that you'll appreciate it in the way that I do. Not like these other killers. They don't get me. But I'll get them. Oh, I'll get them all. And I'll get my father too. And I'll punish him for what he did to my mother and me. Spirit radiates a menacing aura, waving her sword around in the air as she threatens, well, the entire universe. It's scary and more than a little hot if you get turned on by menacing. Look, all this time on Murderer's Island has got us both a little confused about things. I'm choosing to lean into it. I suggest you do the same. You've seen her get mad, which is probably enough to scare you into compliance, but you've also seen that there's a more sensitive side hiding within her. Which one do you think that will win out? You consider her offer, but before you can decide if you want to go off with the Spirit, the Wraith interjects. It sounds like he just literally ran up next to her, shoved her out of the way. Honestly, the Spirit's great. She's the only one around here that doesn't totally get on my nerves. I guess you've got good taste, but I don't know. We could hang out and I could show you some cool stuff, or, you know, forget I said anything. Tough choice. You weigh your options quickly because you can only go on one date today, and you also don't want to be hacked to pieces for saying the wrong thing. So it's good to remember that these are all cold-blooded killers, but you know what they say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And then die a horrible, retching, writhing death after drinking it because lemons were poisoned all along. Sorry, this island has really got me tilted. So who will it be? It's gonna be Spirit, because I've been choosing Spirit a lot, so I'm just gonna go with Spirit. I gotta go with Spirit. You've made the correct decision, but know this, just because you picked me doesn't mean I'm going to slobber all over you like a dog, understand? Look, no one even mentioned anything about kissing. If that's what she was talking about. Well, of course, you've still got a lot to prove to me. I want to believe that our connection is real, but I've been hurt before. Literally. With a katana. A katana that I now wield in spectral form. You feel me? Because you will feel me. And if you try any of the macho trapper crap. Yeah, I feel you. Before you can ask Claudette and Dwight to clarify, I'll just let you know that yes, it's too late to change your answer now. You and Spirit arrive at the coast overlooking the black lighthouse. It's old and decrepit, but still impressive. There's something magnetic about it. You can see why Spirit would be drawn to such a place. You look Spirit up and down and notice that she's wearing all black, just like the lighthouse. I'm noticing a bit of a theme. Is black your favorite color? Black really isn't a color at all. It's the absence of color. It's a void. Technically, if we're going into light, waves of light, which basically visible light travels in waves, black is actually, I think it's all of the colors kind of put together, whereas like white is like none of the colors in terms of like fabric and paint. I think in paint and other stuff it's a bit different, but in terms of fabric, so like the color of fabric is actually every color except the one that it actually is, because that's the color that is reflecting off of it. So black absorbs all of the light, which is why black is warm and why you shouldn't wear black if it's really, really hot out. Because it absorbs all that light and reflects back only this black. So it just absorbs light. whereas white clothing, light-colored clothing, reflects a whole lot more of that light, which means it's better to wear if it's hot out, and not great to wear if it's cold. Anyway, light waves are weird. Let's just continue. Like a black hole. A place that swallows light. A dying star. Damn. Now that's dark. You're confident that Spirit will vibe with this, but Spirit doesn't really care for science fiction. Not the type with spaceships and lasers anyhow. She's much more into the type of strange adventures that kick off right here on Earth. Earth? Is that where we are? You wonder. I'm pretty sure we're dead. The lapping waves on the shore of the coast set a romantic tone. The fog that surrounds Spirit everywhere she goes blends perfectly with the mist rolling up and over the rocky shoreline. She's at one with this place. And so are you. The peace doesn't last too long, however, as the lighthouse lets out an eerie howl, like a monster dying. A spiraling black light stretches out across the sky. Spirit has to yell at you just to be heard. Oh yeah! It does that! The light and the sound recede, and the two of you sit alone in silence. Spirit lays a towel down and pats on it gently. Clearly, she wants your company, so you oblige. When you do, she takes out some sunscreen and hands it to you. You're not exactly sure what to do. Is this an invitation to get in a little hands-on action? What else could it be? Thanks! Thanks, I forgot to bring my own when I, lost my memory and fell into the ocean. No problem. I figured as much. Spirit turns away while you slather lotion all over your body. You need any help reaching those difficult spots? You see a hand float around your back. Sure. Why not? Spirit's hand on your back is ice cold, but she has a soft touch. When she's done, she takes care of herself. You watch Spirit apply sunscreen to herself, in the most unique way, by floating her own hand around her back to spread it on. I will comment on this, because I think it's useful and kind of cool. This might kind of suck. The fact that your hands just float around you like that, you can reach things way easier than I can. It's almost like you're some kind of superhero. I'm glad you get a kick out of it, but floating severed limbs isn't exactly the type of superpower you think you wished for as a kid. I'd much rather be able to read minds. Maybe then I'd understand why some people act the way they do. Wasn't there a guy... I've watched a little bit of One Piece, and I seem to recall some clown dude who ate one of those devil fruits that, like, made his body able to, like, separate and become incorporeal and float for quite a distance. Anyway, One Piece is weird. I'll apologize. I'm truly sorry. Clearly I hadn't thought through what your experience was like. Sometimes humor is how you deal with uncomfortable situations, but clearly you read the room wrong. I was just thinking about what you must have gone through to end up like that. It must have been horrible. It was worse than death. At least death ends, eventually. But I wouldn't want to forget it. It literally made me who I am right now. Truth is, I could pull all these bits of glass that are stuck in my flesh out right now if I wanted to. But I don't want to. Each shard is a reminder of what my father did to me, and what the world did to him. That's why I refuse to play the universe's game. I hate the idea that I'll be forced to succumb to pressure the way he did in the end. The way that fear and anger filled him up and then came bursting out. The way his misery flooded our home and drowned us all. Eesh. It's hard not to think about revenge. The dragon inside me, it's doing to me what the world did to him. I have to fight it. Even though it gives me strength, I must maintain control. You're stronger than he ever was. I'm sure of it. I appreciate that, Taco. I'm sure a little help isn't a bad thing. In life, in love. This world is a lot to endure alone. Maybe I could use a little assistance reaching my delicate toes for a bit of lotion. You know, having your body contorted into these vengeful poses, it really does a number on my joints. It rubs the lotion on its skin. Ready. Oh dear. Ah! You missed completely. Perfect. Perfect. Oh god. Not bad. This is gonna be bad, isn't it? Ah! Well, I suppose the lotion made to where it was supposed to be going eventually. And you weren't too incredibly wasteful. I'm not a woman who believes in rushing through things just to get them done. If there is a next time, I'm sure you'll do even better. You look up at the lighthouse, its ominous dark form hovering above this moment between spirit and yourself. Evil, as it clearly is, in this case, does you a solid by blurting out another ominous moan and burst of black light that rescues you from this awkward silence. Ah, it's a Flying Dutchman. From seemingly out of nowhere, an ancient-looking ship appears in the water. It glows, itself a thing of death, a spirit of a ship that once sailed these seas centuries ago. The tired black flag whips in the ocean air above the ship as it careens toward the shore. Before crashing on the rocks, they must have been drawn in by the lighthouse. You hear the distant shouting of sailors as the old wooden ghost ship breaks up and sinks to the water. Alright. It does that sometimes, too. Should we, do something? Nah, the sharks will take care of it. Within a minute, the ocean is quiet again except for the waves. Note to self, hungry sharks. But these time-traveling pirates, or whatever they are, you're half sure you saw one of those skull and crossbone flags, aren't the only ones drawn here today. It's Wraith! He's emerged from the palm trees behind you. Were you watching us, my dude? I didn't come here to break up your date or anything. I came here for that. Wraith points up to the lighthouse. It is indifferent to his attention. I've been seeing it in my dreams, shining its strange light on me. I can't avoid it. Though woods and walls, nothing seems to stop it from reaching out to me. Duh, it's a haunted lighthouse. It does that to everyone at some point. You're no more special than me. Those dead pirates or that mermaid I saw washed up on the shore that one time. Ew. Mermaids, by the way, aren't even close to as beautiful in person as they are in movies. More sea witch than underwater princess, if you get my drift. It's all part of a vast conspiracy. An epic river of lies that runs beneath the island, or something. I'm pretty sure I figured it out. The basics anyhow. If you come with me, you can get out. Spirit waves her katana, nearly trimming a couple buttons off Wraith's tropical top. He takes the hint and backs away a few steps slowly. For the quiet guy, he never really shuts up. Oh, okay, by the way, you'll see. Alone at last, tension broken, deathly moans quiet, and the Wraith banished back to wherever he hangs out. You scooch a little bit closer to Spirit, breathing in that damp, foggy air that seems to emanate from her. It's not quite clear how that whole fog thing works, but you don't care. You're feeling this moment. Spirit seems to be feeling it too. She starts to adjust her robe, and you get a peek at the bathing suit beneath. For someone who seems intent on proving how little she cares about what everyone else thinks, she puts a lot of work into getting into that suit. It's got straps for days. However, you're so focused on what's happening with Spirit, you don't see the next interruption coming. And Claudette and Dwight burst on you and interrupt whatever you were doing. Doesn't seem that like they were worried they'd bump into much. We're here to make a very dramatic announcement. Well, technically, we're here to invite you to just join us back at the beach. Well, we'll be making a very dramatic announcement. It's hard being producers and hosts. Aren't survivors supposed to be work in groups of 4? Yeah, they are. When you arrive at the beach, you realize that you were set up. Despite promising an announcement, Dwight and Claudette simply stand quietly. This isn't all what was promised. Wait a minute, there's no announcement here. But there is. A me. You got mud in your ears, friend? I told you to get lost. Don't you see? Lost is what I am, and so are you. But I know the way out. I've got a map back in my secret lair. Literally and figuratively, yeah. I know the difference. That's why you should ditch Spirit and come spend the rest of the night with me instead. Do you have a secret lair? Damn it. Who said anything about a secret lair? I said Sap. Sap in my secret hair? There's a flap on my secret chair? Don't change the subject! He's on fire! I've never seen the... Don't ask me what he's talking about. You're trying to make a mess of the first nice day I've had in... I don't know how long, because it's not even clear what year it is, but in a while, I'm not about to be ditched for the likes of you. It's not me messing things up. I try to keep telling you, but it's this dang island. Come to accept a difficult truth. What's happening here? Well, I'm convinced that it's our fate. It's not anyone's decision. It's simply the way it will be. There's no use fighting it. What would you even know about fighting? All you know is hiding in your spooky little secret hair and crying like a baby while ringing your bell. So don't tell me what I can and can't fight back against. I was born a fighter. A dragon lives inside me. I can't not fight, even when all I might do is hide. Don't you see this giant hat? It's a metaphor. I do have a fate. My fate is to win every fight that comes my way. Got it? Folks. Oh, you hide. I've seen you hide. You do your phase walking routine. What do you call that? It's basically cloaking, and we all know that cloaking is a type of hiding. I mean, that's what he does. Actually, that's what Wraith does. He turns like basically invisible-ish. Like, you can see him as well. You can see is like if you've ever played Halo, when someone has the invisibility on, like you can see the little outline on him if you're paying attention. And she does some sort of like spirit walk thing, but like, yeah, I've never really played her, but I have played Wraith before. Folks, you cloak. I don't cloak. I'm not a cloaker. I phase walk out in the open. You just can't see me. You have no idea what they're talking about. This sure sounds like some video game community forum thread minutia, if there ever was such a thing. Not that you know much about that either. It sure doesn't seem like Dwight and Claudette are going to stop this, so it's on you. I think I was brought here to make this choice, so I'm going to do that now. And I choose... I'm going to go with Spirit. It comes down to it, neither of these two seems easy to love. I mean, damn. Spirit literally has broken glass shards sticking out of her, but she has a certain charm to her gloom. Spirit and I were actually having a nice time. Besides, if it's my fate to end up on this island, well, to hell with fate, really. And don't take this the wrong way, Wraith, but the amount of awkwardness you pack into a single day, no wonder you're so skinny. All that second-guessing yourself must burn a lot of calories. No offense taken. Yeah, okay, it's true. I can be a little awkward, I guess, sometimes. Right, so I'm gonna stick with Spirit. Spirit breathes a sigh of relief. I've got enough revenging to do without having to kill you and Wraith too. Spirit walks you around a corner to show you something that she discovered in this place and knew was meant to be connected with her journey. A cherry tree. It's just a small sapling, but it's begun to sprout flowers. It doesn't make much sense to see a cherry tree here in this place, but it doesn't make sense to see a ghost in a black bathing suit, so you just have to accept it, really. As Spirit steps up to the tree, a cold breeze pulls some petals off, and they come cascading through the air around both of you. Oh, it's pretty! Did you know the meaning of the cherry blossom? They're beautiful, but also quite symbolic, of course. I like good symbols. Their meaning is pretty complicated. What do they mean to you? For many people, being among cherry blossoms is like being at a celebration of life. People travel great distances just to be near their vibrant beauty. However, as beautiful as they might be, they aren't magical. They're simply flowers. They quickly die and fade away, and for this reason, they're also a symbol of the fleeting nature of life, of our fragile mortality. In a way, it's a specter of looming death that calls attention to the special moment, to see and appreciate life. How does that duality make you feel, Taco? Empowered! The knowledge that life and death are a cycle has always given me peace. Accepting the fleeting nature of life like the beauty of a flower in bloom allows me to appreciate the moment without being too hung up on what comes next. As you explain first, space begins to look sad to you. You're not sure why. It's not the happiest topic, life and death. But why should that matter? And then it dawns on you. Spirit has been trapped in this ghastly state of death with no hope cycle, no rebirth. For a moment of blossoming life long gone. That scary time of death and decay that comes after the good part. That's Spirit's eternity. I feel like an idiot. I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't even thinking about you. You just answered from the heart. I can't let that bother me. Our priorities are not the same. I have my mission. Once the fallen cherry blossoms represented the souls of samurai warriors, those with noble characters who did not fear death, those who were killed in the greatest sacrifice, to honor their emperor. Their lives were short, but their purpose gave them beauty. Those warriors saw death coming, but they never despaired. They stood and faced it. They held their swords and struck down their fear. But despite the samurai spirit that lives in me and my noble bloodline, my life has ended, but my death continues to stretch on. The cycle is frozen. This cherry tree, it's not real. Though its petals fall, they soon replenish, as if they were installed here by someone. Once a spirit chooses her words very carefully. By something. With no respect for the balance of life and death. We're sorry to interrupt. You know we don't believe you, right? Yep! This time we've got a really good reason. And it has nothing to do with us being manipulated by an unseen force, because that's definitely not happening. Nobody accused you of that, but okay. We're just here to tell you that it's time for dinner, silly! Get it while it's hot. I guess it's time to go or whatever. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I enjoyed it. Me too.